Ah, Christmas. The white man's Kwanzaa. I love this time of year because it reminds me of days gone by. It makes me so nostalgic to think back on playing DK64 with my friends on Christmas morning. Such a simple time. The past. Such wonderment awaited us. Now it is so predictable. Ugh, I could vomit. Could it be that we've lost track of what's truly important when it comes to the holidays? Could we be so naive in saying that it's still just as important to us now that we're older? Why does it trouble me so? Why? Perhaps if I could discover the answer to this question. What has changed since then? Certainly not me, for that would make this whole video silly and redundant. Could it be that innovation no longer sells? Can we be just as excited getting Call of Duty for the 8th time in a row, seriously guys, as we were for the first iteration? That's it! This is in fact the fault of the maker. So, why am I here, you ask?
We're doing top 10 most devastating trends in video games. It's Christmas after all. It should be devastating to all the little boys and girls out there in Africa. But there is no snow in Africa.
The evolution of the platformer is quite a spectacle, going from stationary to side-scrollers, to 3D, to nothing for a while, and back again to 2D. Most of these newer 2D platformers get high praise, but there are still not that many. Of the non-indie platformers, there is essentially only Mario, Donkey Kong, and the new Rayman. Why? It's either because A, in general platformers don't sell well, or B, our gaming society has evolved from frivolous things such as mushrooms and jigsaw pieces. We needn't subject our younger society to this trash when we can just play Call of Duty all day. Seriously guys, this is a thing. Okay, it's A. But this goes along with the theme of the video. Most publishers release games with small effort and high profit. Looking at you, shooter genre, the gaming industry is no longer a wide frontier of what seemed like infinite possibilities and wonder, but now it's more like a factory, where developers are like the migrant workers and the publishers are the bigwigs telling them to produce hollowed-out Russian dolls with some missing. AKA Call of Duty. My point being, gamers should reward high-praised games. Gamers need to stand and say that we're not going to spend money on nearly regurgitated games. We should support titles that are innovative and break the mold if we want more diversity in video games. On that note, HD remakes and re-releases in general. Another example of low effort and high profit. While not entirely a new concept, remakes have been appearing, well, just about gosh darn everywhere. Star Fox 64, Sly Cooper, Silent Hill, Street Fighter, new play control bullshit, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario 64, Street Fighter, Jak and Daxter, God of War, Metal Gear Solid, Street Fighter, Legend of Zelda, Halo 1, Street Fighter, Kingdom Hearts, Street Fighter, Street Fighter, Street Fighter! Now seriously, this is why we can't have nice things. A prime example, Wind Waker HD. Psst, hey you, over here. I'm gonna pause the video really quick to tell you that this is gonna cut pretty deep with Nintendo fanboys out there, myself included. Okay, continue the video. We can't honestly look at a timeless game like The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and say it needs to be timeless, sir. A direct port would have worked fine if the Virtual Console actually did what it was meant to do. People look at this HD remake and say, wow, it's beautiful and Nintendo's only charging me $50? Oh my god. It's like they're in love with me. Do I love Nintendo? I don't know. I love them. Just let me remind y'all really quick. You paid $50 10 years ago too. Look, Wind Waker is an amazing game, and it's not necessarily what is wrong with remakes, but it does get my point across. This is the same for many titles as well, and we must realize that buying these games is causing publishers to produce more of them and less of something new and fresh, like Call of Duty. Speaking of Call of Duty, can we please stop buying this game? Holy sh! Every once in a while you see a great game like Call of Duty Under the Sea, but overall this perfectly describes game stores right now, a sea of Call of Duties. People should get tired of this plain Jane shooter eventually, right? Oh, are you kidding me? So, now a question that's really gonna make you think. Why is this series doing so well? Could it be that it has become so popular that even though it is like a map pack, that people will consistently make them the top-selling game of all time? Maybe it's because it has the best gaming community.
I can't hear anything, man. I don't speak bitch. I'm sorry, I can't comprehend.
You have a 107.
Broke as fuck, bro. I know, what does that say? I got a 107, I'm on the top side of the leaderboard.
You're breaking even. You break even. The Chicago Cubs win every now and then. So what? They're not going to win the series. You're like the Chicago fucking Cubs.
Come on, man. Now you're gonna bring Chicago. You're not gonna make friends.
107?
Man.
Oh, really? You give a fuck about the Cubs and what they think? Fuck you, Chicago's garbage. They'll never win. You're trying to defend the Cubs? Who gives a fuck? There's no loss on Cubs fans. I don't want Cubs fans for friends. They're fucking trash. You're trash. Fuck the Cubs. They're losers. Like you.
This needs to end. If this continues, then this trend will never change. Are you okay with that? Can you allow a game that has had the same unchanged engine for the past 7 years to take the title of best-selling game of the year? Again, this is not art. This is a pre-chewed and processed game, which could be compared to the likes of other games like Candy Crush. But the difference is that this game is a $60 full-fledged release. And that's not to say that Call of Duty is the only culprit. There are many games out there that are produced on a formula of A happens, then B happens, and then C happens. One of the greatest things about the original Mario is that there was no formula to go off. It was all completely new. It was like this: Princess gets kidnapped, you have to save her, but she's in another castle. This is a great plot twist for the original game. But now it's kind of becoming their formula, if you will. Every Mario game you can expect Princess Peach to get kidnapped and you have to save her. This is one of the reasons why Super Mario 3D World is getting so much buzz. Peach wasn't kidnapped, but instead helping to save the day. Along with that, the game is different from your plain Jane New Super Mario Bros. U. There's more thought put into level design, and it shows big time. And this is only in the trailers that I've seen. When you compare the two side by side, there is really no comparison. So it's obvious that formulaic bullshit is what's squandering the opportunity to make new and unique games, and more so, experiences. And the problem is that innovation used to sell. Like literally, innovation used to be what sold a game. Now innovation has hit a stop in favor of games that follow a very strict formula. Meaning games that have yearly releases like Call of Duty. These yearly releases fit into this cookie cutter mold, except it seems like the chocolate chip cookie you paid $60 for seems to not have any of the chocolate chips. Which brings me to my next and final point. The D word. Could you really expect it to be anything else? The number one thing that has taken the video game industry by storm, downloadable content seems to be the perfect method for companies to nickel and dime the consumer who have already bought their game with the excuse of, oh, we didn't have enough time to put it in the game. And to that I say bullshit! And then they say things like, you don't have to buy it, it's only for the truly hardcore. And again, to which I say bullshit! If you're Capcom, then you say, ha ha hee hee ho ho. You have the DLC on your disc, but you still can't play it unless you buy the DLC. And to that I say, why do you hate me, Capcom? Just give me Mega Man X and let it be over with. Remember those Russian dolls I talked about? Ah, now you're starting to see what I'm talking about. Video games are those hollowed out Russian dolls that you pay full price for. But extra must be paid to get the smaller ones, leaving you just the big one unless you pay more. Sure, there may be some out there that would argue that the dolls are extra and should cost more. But what is the point of buying one Russian doll if you don't have the others to put it in there? See, back in the day, there used to be a thing called unlockables. While unlockables have a different meaning nowadays, like paid unlockable, these unlockables could only be unlocked based on your skill in the game, whether it be costumes, characters, weapons, or even maps. You had to work hard to unlock these, and really prove that you were a master of the game. Now the only thing you have to prove is, are you dumb enough to pay more money for things that should have been included in this $60 game? Now I know that sounds harsh, but it holds some truth to it. Costumes in games should be unlockable and not a paid-for thing. Compared to the rest of the game's production value, costumes come a dime a dozen. Weapons should also be unlockable in-game, especially if it gives you an edge in the game. Characters should always be unlockable in a game, especially if they're on their disc. Capcom maps. Again, the $60 you paid for is really a change in scenery anyway. So, what is this list, or rather, open letter, asking you? Do what you want, but know that what you pay for will decide what will be produced in the future. If you have fun with Call of Duty and want them to keep developing them,
I don't need you as a friend. Jam that up your ass. Fucking Star Wars nerd.
then fine, that's your choice. If you think paid DLC is a blessing, then fine. What I'm asking you to do is have fun this holiday. Be thankful for what you get and give some yourself. Just always remember this one thing, that I'm watching you, sleeping in your bed, playing Call of Duty. And that makes me upset, 'cause I'm Santa, bitch, here to bring you nothing but Christmas cheer. Have no fear. Oh, where's the aspirin? Hey there, buddy. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, I see how it is. You want to get a little close to me? Okay, let me light a little fire for you. Oh, it's nice and warm. If you want to watch more of my videos, click on these other links right here. If you want to follow me on Facebook and Twitter, why am I having an Italian accent? Click these links below. Feel the warmth of that fire. What are you doing? Hey, stop. Stop. Ow! Ow! Ouchies! Ouch! Ow! I'm on fire and now I'm dead. You got me. I'll get you, Buzz Lightyear.